the finance meeting for the Russellville City Council on Tuesday, July 7th. Thank you guys for joining us here and at home. At this point in time, I will yield the floor to Chairman Keller.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. First item on our agenda is consideration of a resolution authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to sign an economic development agreement with Russellville TR LLC for the reimbursement of site development. This was submitted by the mayor's office. Mayor, what can you tell us about this?
This is the development on East Main with Bowen Kemp and Texas Roadhouse. So you guys have already seen this. And it's just this, it's bringing it back again. So it'll go back before a vote next week.
Just if I recall, Mayor, this is 120 jobs, 60 part-time, 60 full-time. How much revenue projected from sales tax each year?
Be 160,000 possibly between the two taxes that you have.
So a fairly substantial return
Yes.
investment. And we have clawback agreements.
I think we have somebody here.
Yes.
that-
Mr. Ligon?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me again. Was there a direct question I missed on that, or?
No, I was just making comments right now. But
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'll build on that. So based on the numbers you presented, the money that we would give to you guys in those, to develop that, I think it's 58,000 and change. Based on your numbers, when would Russellville get that back?
Year
About
one.
Year one? Less than year one?
Yes. And that's, I haven't personally done all the math, and y'all know your math better than me, but that's figured roughly on an average of about 8 million in annual sales from the prospective tenant here.
And if I recall correctly, this contract includes clawback. This is what I was going to add really quick. Clawback provisions to ensure that taxpayers get their money back in the event that this company doesn't adhere to their end of the contract.
That's correct. If we don't perform on the real estate development project here and the tenant does not end up following through with their lease that they've signed, then yes, we will turn that money back over.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to forward item number 1 to the full council with a recommendation for approval.
There's been a motion for item 1 to be forwarded to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Do we have a second? Second. It's been forwarded and seconded to move item 1 to the full council, recommendation of approval. Is there any further discussion on item 1? Okay.
Sorry. Do you have an estimate on how much of that 8 million is actually going to be new revenue rather than just the shift from one food outlet to another?
Yeah, obviously I can't project where money will be pushed and pulled from, but to that point, I can say there's a report that the team of the city here has done showing $55 million is being leaked out of the city right now, going to other full-service restaurants, which would be this line of business that we're trying to bring in as a tenant. So right now, you're losing as a city, as a market here, $55 million that's going to another neighboring market, for example, Conway, Fort Smith, wherever that may be, to just go eat at this type of restaurant that you could be keeping right here in your own town. So that's I believe city has that report or access to that report on file, maybe even emailed to you guys earlier.
So in a sense, when it comes to leakage, we're talking, this is new money. The chamber has talked about this several times, and the report was in our last month's information, or if I'm not remembering correctly, it has been in our information about this specific deal with the city. And so the fact that we have guaranteed money back and the fact that we will recover the amount of money spent and it's an eyesore of a property that we want to get rid of anyway to further economic development in an area where we are hoping to further economic development. To me, it feels like this is a no-brainer, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a reason that Restaurant Row, that term was created, and you know, what you find from these type of users is they want to be by other like users. So when you may go to a place that may have a hour, 2 hour wait, whatever it may be on a high capacity night, they can go right next door to what would be considered a competitor, but really they're already prepared to go out to eat that night as a family, as a celebration for birthday, whatever it may be. So instead of them driving 20 minutes down the road or having to make a reservation 20 minutes down the road, 30 minutes, whatever it is, they can keep those dollars right here, and encourages people to go to some type of entertainment area and knowing that there's going to be options there.
So just to clarify, this is not akin to us just throwing money at a corporate entity, because I know that there are some detractors that have claimed that. Obviously, I don't agree with that, but I just want.
Yeah, that's a point that I had here that I've heard as well. The money does not go directly to the tenant name that's been thrown around. You know, Russellville TR LLC is a small business of about 4 employees, myself included, with my partners, that we're a small business that we consider ourselves local. Arkansas people are our people. I've eaten at countless meals at Old South. I wrote down some of them here. I've eaten Slim's, Freddy's, Ridgewood. Banana pudding's awesome, by the way, if you don't get the banana pudding at Ridgewood. I've got a sweet tea in my truck right now that I forgot to bring in from McAllister's because I stop and get my tea pass every time I come into town. So, you know, it's going, that's why $60,000 is a big deal. Number one, it's bridging the gap on making the real estate deal work. You know, we're real estate developers. There's a economics part of every real estate deal that has to happen. The tenant has already invested a lot of money that is getting them into Russellville by making this deal work. This is just another item on a 160 line item budget list here of trying to make the numbers work to where the market rent that they're going to be paying our small business is a big deal to us. Again, you know, we're not some, you know, Northeast developer out of town type client here that, you know, I just deposited a check at First State Bank where I bank. The other deposit that I use for my accounts is First Security Bank. So again, we consider ourselves local, and we want to keep doing business at Russellville as long as y'all want us to keep doing business here. Same guys that brought the Academy Olive Garden development. This is the same small business group of real estate developers that are just trying to make a living and trying to better the towns that want us to participate with them. So that's the type of quality development you'll continue to see out of us as long as y'all want to keep partnering with us.
There was a motion and a second.
Yeah, it was discussion. Is there any further discussion on item 1? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 1 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 1 is forwarded. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate you.
Item 2 is an appropriation. It's appropriated pass-through from the general fund carryover in the sum of $500 to be used to create pass-through for the Historic District Commission's implementation of the Certificate of Appropriateness application, fees and associated costs of notification. I'm moving forward item 2 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Is there any discussion on item 2? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 2 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 2 is forwarded. Item 3 is consideration of reimbursement request from the Arkansas Valley Alliance for Economic Development for second quarter 2026 in the amount of $49,424.98. Moving forward, item 3 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Is there any discussion on item 3? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 3 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 3 is forwarded. And the last item on our list is consideration of a reimbursement request from the Boys and Girls Club of the Arkansas River Valley for second quarter of 2026 in the amount of $16,389.10. I move we forward item 4 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Is there any discussion on item 4? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 4 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 4 is forwarded. Mayor, that's the last item on our agenda. I yield the floor back to you.
All right, we will adjourn and go directly into agenda prep. Meeting adjourned. All right, we will call this Tuesday, July 7th, 2026, council agenda prep meeting to order. Thank you again for those in person joining us, and thank you for those joining us via Facebook, YouTube, however you're going to get to see this. Mr. Gray, you got your magic number generator? Is it whatever it's called? No, 31. From 1 to 31.
28.
28. Hey, just change. She wants to change. Do from 1 to 15. So, because we've seen.
Yeah, I always wondered why we didn't reduce the number since we had.
Do,
All right.
do 1 to 15 and see what happens. That way we'll get down in the lower. So
4.
4. And give us a couple more.
11,
11,
13.
30. It likes those high numbers, doesn't it? It likes the higher numbers.
It's random.
It is random, but it likes the high numbers. So, all right, so we got those going off from there. Thank you, sir, for being our computer guy. Mr. Duval, you got a quick update on the Public Works for us?
Just got a couple things. The Detroit sidewalks on South Detroit, they are finished, but all we are waiting for are the rapid flashing beacons. It's hard to say, but the bases are poured. As soon as they get here, they'll be ready to go. So just letting y'all know that one. And on Prairie Creek, today they started installing bridge components. I don't know if y'all have been by, but the rest of the week they will be working on those. I think if it goes as good today, they might have all those in by Thursday or Friday. And we're still hoping to be done before school starts, so.
That would be amazing.
Yes. Yep. It's coming along very well.
I have a few questions
Okay, I'll see if I can.
pertaining to downtown.
Yep.
The crosswalk in front of the courthouse does not go all the way. I'm
Yes.
assuming we ran out or something.
I haven't called, but I
They-
suspect they run out of
I do know
material.
they timed out. They timed out at night that night, and they had to get out. So, and then
Okay.
you had the holiday, so they will be back. I did
I
check on
I
that.
figured there was some
They did time
issue.
out that,
It's
but
like
they-
a crosswalk to nowhere.
But it
you know?
does look amazing. The ones that are finished,
Yes.
it really is going to
I
look
love
good.
it. It looks great.
Yes.
I'm totally happy about the whole.
They can
setup.
only work out there certain times, so they probably got in on the time.
Gotcha.
crunch, and
They got timed
They
out.
made them get out of the road, so.
Did you the light on Commerce in
Yes.
Maine? There's some. Before we did all of the changeover,
Yes.
the lights were pretty well timed to where you
Yes.
could at least pull out on Main Street, and now you have
We-
to wait forever for that
We've
Commerce.
tried, we keep adjusting, but it's really hard. There's so much traffic since Parkway's closed. I mean, we'll keep working on it. I mean, I know it seems long, and I know it frustrates people.
Well, and it's not anything conducive to what you've done or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just I know that
It's just,
in our regular, we're right there. So in our
Yes.
regular everyday usage, and our customers or whatever, like, it's a lot more difficult. So
I was surprised by how much traffic we have with just having Parkway closed.
yeah, the
So,
extensive
lots of people
traffic,
use Parkway.
it gets backed up through there at
Yes.
certain points. So
It may be a bit, but we're gonna keep working on it, And I know when we get that in, we'll have to do all the adjusting again, but we will get it good again.
My biggest concern really is pedestrian traffic
Yeah.
there and people wanting to cross
Yes.
and having to wait forever for the light to change at Commerce and Main. So
Yes.
if they're not able to, you know, they're just going to run across the road.
Yeah, and I don't want them to do that either, so. But we will keep hitting it, picking at it. We'll get it as good as we can and until we can get Parkway back open.
It looks great.
Okay, I know, it's nice, very nice.
What did you say regarding the Prairie Creek project? You said that, I heard that you said that it was progressing, but what specifically was the next phase of that project?
After they get done with the arches this week, they will be starting on the retaining walls on Parkway. That's the next thing. It's moving good. It really is.
On this block right here between Boulder and Commerce, north side, is it my old eyes, or did we angle those parking spots more where you don't need the hash marks so longer vehicles can park in there? They look like they're more on a 45 than a normal.
Yes, we did angle those.
I was going to say let the mayor answer that way. Yes,
Well,
we
It's a
did.
good idea as long as
No,
the
it's
giant
helped.
trucks that try to park there.
We
don't
didn't
stick
really
out.
lose anything,
Yeah,
but
no, I think it's a good idea.
it's hopefully when the trucks pull in, they're not going to be sticking so far out in the road. So that's the plan. Anything else? Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. I will kind of give an update, or also on that Prairie Creek project, we did reach out today to ask, that's not our job, so we don't control everything, but we did ask the Corps after the next couple days where they're doing all the crane work to move the road closed signs closer to that project to open up for Jeans and Stobies and Salty Broads. We did request that so that they can move that closer. We can't tell them to do that. It's a Corps of Engineers project, but we have reached out to that.
Can we ask them one more favor as well? Kenneth, I don't know if you can ask them, could they just like on a Friday maybe sweep the bike lanes and sidewalks on El Paso? Because I know they're going in and out, but it's like, it's not just a little bit of dirt, it's gravel and big, pretty good sized chunks of rocks. on
Yeah.
those.
I think we can maybe
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
have
say
our
we
guys
could-
do, our guys would have to do that because I don't think they've got a
make-
sweeper
I'll
on
get
site.
my guys to do it,
Yeah.
definitely.
It'll rattle your teeth if you're on a bicycle.
Yeah, well, I know. But yeah, I will put that down and I'll make sure it gets done.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
All right. I think that's, moving on to unfinished old business will be the consideration of an ordinance rezoning certain realty in the city of Russellville for other purposes. This is submitted by Josh Spence. This was unanimously recommended denial by the Planning Commission. This would be the second of 3 readings. And then item 2 would be a consideration of an ordinance to authorize mayor, city clerk, treasurer to sign an interlocal agreement with Pope County, Arkansas to split the tipping cost of the new recycle facility at 1801 South Knoxville. This will be the third and final reading upcoming next week.
So, do we have a opening date on that?
I don't know that what are we waiting on again, Sarah? I can't,
Waiting on
there's
this
been a
ordinance,
couple
I
issues that
imagine.
we've been waiting on. It's getting close.
Oh, the bins aren't out there,
Yeah.
that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You are correct, Paul. The bins are out there. There's an issue with the fence. The gate, when they were installing it, something happened. And so we're waiting for some replacement pieces on the gate so that we're able to open and close the gate. The camera, I have not gotten confirmation if the camera has been installed yet or not. We have one of the 2 cameras in, the other one is on back order, but the one that they're installing will still get license plates. We'll still see what you're bringing into the recycling so that we can enforce if we need to. But we're really waiting for that gate to be fixed.
It's going to be nice, and we will have a grand opening. We'll have like a ribbon cutting or something. I think it'll be cool.
Who's going to be out there on a regular basis?
So I will be out there every day.
Okay.
I'll be starting my day out there. The parks crew has also said that while they're out there, they'll kind of keep an eye on it. But
They're in and out all the time.
yes,
Yeah, okay. Cool.
I'll be starting
Just didn't
every
want
day.
you stuck out there all by yourself.
Well, and I won't be out there, like, my office is not moving
Yeah.
over there, but I will start my day there every day. I want it to look nice. I don't want to impose on parks and have them taking care of it, so.
Cool.
I think the design that Sarah and her team came up with is going to be good. You literally have to, you get out of your car, you walk your recycles in through the gate. So I think it's going to be conducive to responsible recycling, and it's not going to be good for just easy run in and throw something out that you don't need. So I think there was a lot of thought that they put into that, and I think it's going to be a really good design for us.
I'm really excited about it. It's a great job.
Thank you. We have started, or we're starting this week, our education campaign to really just kind of let people know that the recycling location is coming. And then once it's open, we're really going to be like highlighting what you can recycle, what you can't recycle. And then there are signs out there that say this is acceptable and this is not acceptable. So, thank you.
Do we have a kind of a time frame of when we're going to do our first e-waste collection?
I do not. I want everyone to get used to what we do accept on the regular, and then we'll do an e-waste drive, because that's not a regular thing. I want everyone be comfortable with that. But I am looking at this fall for the first e-waste drive.
That'd be awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, going on to new business. Item 1 is consideration of an ordinance amending the current Russellville Historic District Commission Code for the city of Russellville. This is Arkansas adopted by ordinance 2460. For other purposes, this is going to be submitted by the Russellville Historic District Commission. And I think that kind of coordinates with item 2 in your appropriation. They're changing that to where we're going to have a $100 fee, which will come in, but it basically allows our team to make the notifications and publish publicly in the Courier, so the applicants are not having to go through this themselves. So it's kind of streamlining that and allowing us to be able to come through and help make sure that everything is notified and everything's done right, but it also takes that responsibility off of the end user, the applicant. So I'm excited about that too. I think that's going to be good. Item 2 is a consideration of an ordinance for rezoning of certain property from R1 to C2 located at 2304 SR 124. This is submitted by, I'm going to say, SAMU General Market LLC on behalf of YNO Russellville LLC. Now, you probably received a email from Gavin Wilson, our planning director, asking for a 1-of-1 reading with no emergency clause. That's what they're requesting this. So you guys should have, if you haven't checked your email, you would have received that. Mr. Wilson, if you want to approach the mic, and then anyone could ask you any questions concerning that, because you are the one that's been in communication and have had contact.
Yes, sir. We received a request this morning from the applicant who's here tonight. They're working with the lender to kind of align their timelines so that they can go ahead and open what was once, I believe it's Taylor's
Yeah.
General
Oh,
Store.
man, yeah,
I
that's
spent
good.
a lot of money at Taylor's on
Yeah.
the side of Center Valley with my kids.
Yeah. So the applicant is looking to see if they can expedite the process so that it works, it meshes better with their lender's timeline.
Why wasn't this already C2? Since there's a Dollar General across the street, there's like,
We're not sure, and Victoria and I have been kind of going back and forth on what the timeline when that part of the city
Ms.
was brought in.
Johndall explained it to me. It was
Yes.
there's 2 annexations out there, and one of them was an R1, and everything else was the casino thing, and it left
Yeah.
that strip there across the street that's still R1, including this
Correct.
market. Yeah.
Despite the fact that that strip is in the comprehensive plan is slated for suburban center, I believe, which the
Yeah.
target zone is C3.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not ready for C3 right now, but C2 we feel pretty confident that it would be a perfect transition for the area. We actually got comment from a neighboring business across the street next door to the Dollar General. They said that they would be really excited to see that store open back up, so.
Yeah, I was at a resident today. They asked me to come out and look at their business. It's the pet grooming thing, Creative Creatures
Yeah.
out there, or Creature Comfort. And just so, who's the new owner? Who's the buyer? You are?
Mr.
Okay,
Prasad.
they said to tell you tonight that they hope you serve hamburgers like Taylor's did, because they used to like to walk down the lane there, walk across and get a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So cheeseburgers are coming. All right, I will let the Snyders know that the cheeseburgers are coming.
Anything that we can do to get rid of those ugly SQRL,
Signs, yeah.
like, I'm so pumped. that-
So
yeah.
the reason for the one of one, I don't know if the applicant needs to answer this, is it's a financial lending, needs to close quickly. Is my understanding?
That was my understanding. Yes, okay.
Okay,
So
all right.
I would agree with that.
And one on one with no emergency clause. The no emergency clause makes it pretty easy.
Yeah.
So for us, so, given these circumstances,
All right.
at least for me.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you.
All right. Item 3 is a discussion and consideration of an ordinance and/or resolution to establish a data center zoning code committee tasked with creating suggested updates to zoning code regarding any future data center projects in the Russellville city limits, and enact a moratorium on data center projects within Russellville city limits until January 1st, 2028, sponsored by Council Member Justin Keller. I would just like to say publicly, once again, we have not had any conversation with a data center. We are not in plans with any data centers. We are not proposing a data center with this. This is just one of your council representatives wanting to put some guardrails in your zoning code that is already existing in case someone were to approach the city to have a conversation about a data center. Once again, we do not have a data center that is knocking on our door, and we are not for sure talking to a data center on Elmira. So,
No.
I'm not sure how many more.
Mayor, have you put that in your weekly video yet?
I'm
You
not
need
sure
to.
how
You
many
need
times
to.
that's out on social media, but just letting you know, we are not, this is a situation where you're, like I say, this situation where your council is trying to be transparent. They're putting guardrails in to do those things, but,
Yeah,
and
to
I know there's a
protect
lot
the
of
citizens
misinformation,
that
there's a lot of
elected us.
misinformation
Yeah.
out there, so, and I will say this, and every one of these gentlemen and ladies up here will back you up. Pick up the phone and call any of your council people. Call your representation. Their phone numbers and emails are on the City of Russellville website. You will not find a more receptive and responsive group of people. So pick up the phone, call them, and I will yield this to you, Mr. Keller, now. Hopefully I didn't say anything that I wasn't supposed to.
You can say whatever you want. What I heard was that there's a data center coming. No.
Keller.
No, there's not. Sorry, there's not. Or not that I know of, anyway. Yeah, as discussed last month at our agenda prep meeting, the entire point of this is to, as the mayor said, set up guardrails and to prepare ourselves from a planning and zoning perspective to, if the day was to come that a data center or another crypto mining facility or anything that would fit into that box would show up on our doorstep saying they want to open up shop here in Russellville, that we have rules and regulations and guardrails in place to protect us, to protect our citizens, to protect our community, our resources, and everything. Last month was just a discussion. I wanted to take some time to be able to go and talk to some of the folks down at the Municipal League when we were there for the convention. I was able to do that. I know that we can't ban data centers as a city. I know that there were many people online just saying that that's what we should do. Arkansas law does not allow us to ban data centers, but it is the position of the Municipal League that we're well within our rights to put on a temporary moratorium, to put it in place for this exact reason, to sit down and figure out what our zoning rules and regulations are going to be as they pertain to data centers. So that's what worked with Trey. I got a copy of the ordinance just right when I sat down here tonight. It's a moratorium that would last until January 1st, 2028, that gives us from this month about 18 months. And allows us to really do the work of making sure that we have comprehensive and responsible rules and regulations in place for data centers. And that's what I'm bringing to the council next week.
So is this, last time we met or talked about this, you talked about a possible working group or whatever. I have had 2 citizens approach me that they would like to be on some kind of advisory or whatever. Both of them have, one of them has a background in this. And so anyway, is that something you would still be considering? Or how would they get that input to you? Because both were very eager to give input.
So the way that the ordinance, just in skimming through it, it just, in addition to adding the moratorium, it also creates a temporary select committee that would, and it doesn't, Trey, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't state in there who is on the committee. So I think that's up to us to decide. I mean, I would assume it's the council members are on it, obviously, by de facto, but then, the mayor, y'all are all on it. And then anyone in the community who wants to come to the meetings and be involved in this process, it's open to anybody and everybody. I want to have, everything from, committee work to, I think, doing some forums on, public forums and hearings and stuff like that, to have folks be able to come in and talk about what they want to see in our community is going to be really important part of the process.
I just want to reiterate that these meetings will be public meetings. They will be, but I know you know that, but I just want to tell everyone in the public that these meetings will be public meetings. This committee will be open to someone to come in and share your thoughts, and, whether they're pro or against, whatever. But the meetings that will be put in place are public, and they will be, Mr. Keller, for one, is really good at sharing on his page. We'll be sharing those. There'll be a press release that goes out to the press whenever those happen, because when there are more than 3 of us in a room, we have to call a public meeting, and we have to notify the press. So just kind of wanted to let the public know that there will be public meetings, even to talk about a committee and put the committee together. And then if there were someone who were to approach the city, then there would be public meetings about that situation. So just wanted to let you know that. Thank you. Sorry. Anything else? Any other discussions?
I'd just like
Mr. Pearson.
I'd just like to thank Councilman Keller. I think this is a good way to be forward-looking and not be caught off guard like so many cities have. And I think, in your discussions with the state, do you know of any active facilities in the state that we could actually go check out and see the noise level and look at some of the things that some people claim are the major detractions from these facilities?
I don't know of any projects that have been completed yet. I know of a couple that are under construction, like the one that's in Clarksville, but I don't believe that they're even close to as far along to be able to go and look at it. I know that they're looking at a data center in a big, I think, Google data center in Little Rock, and then a couple different other spots around the state. But I think everyone is kind of just like making them now, and they're just popping up all over the place. And I think that, if we, I'm not saying that we don't want a data center here. I'm not saying that a data center can't come here. As a matter of fact, state law says we can't say that a data center can't come here. But what state law allows us to do is, as you said, we can be forward-looking, set up the guidelines and the rules and regulations for our community. And that means if we have something in place that the company that's going to come here to then set up a data center would then be a company that is looking at the rules and regulations that are there and is coming to follow the rules and regulations. If you don't have any rules or regulations, that's where you leave yourself open to the unscrupulous data center companies who look for places with nothing to bar them from doing whatever they want. I think it's important that we look at this now and put those in place. So anything that may come down come in the future isn't going to, turn into another thing like PPP, where we're just up here talking about, man, we've got an issue, but we can't do anything about it. Anything that we do, well, they're already grandfathered in because they were here before we wrote the rule anyway. And I encourage anyone, go and just put into Google, just put in data center news. I did that this afternoon just to check. Put in data center news into Google and see the stories that pop up. And it's all about towns across this country who are having problems with their electric bills and their water bills and the noise and the pollution and then everything that's coming from these. There is no, man, the data center came to our town and everything was great. That story, I've looked for it and I can't find it. If you find it, please send it to me. But I don't want us to become another Google alert.
Mr. Pearson, I would encourage you to talk to Mr. Hauserman from the Economic Development. I know he has actually visited a site in Oklahoma in person, so he would be happy to visit with you afterwards and kind of share his experience. So I know, is that okay with you, Mr. Hauserman? I know that you've actually been on site, and he can share those personal experiences with you.
Sounds like you need to be on the working group.
So.
Here is one question I did want to pose to the council, and that is, this is written in the form of an ordinance. So traditionally, it would be 3 readings and then 30 days to go ahead and do this. So we wouldn't be able to start work on a committee until, September? October, September, somewhere
90
around
days.
there. Just something for the members of the council to think about between now and next Thursday about whether or not we would want to potentially do this as a one-of-one, and if these new regulations that would be written in the moratorium would fit under the definition of health, safety, and welfare of the community. Those are just 2 things to think about between now and next Thursday.
I think that's a good idea. And if we establish a working group, it's not like we're jamming it through in a hurry. We get a lot of public input, so.
Yeah, it's going to take time to get information out to people and have them involved in the discussion. I too want to applaud you because this is something that we have seen in other communities, and I know that personally this wouldn't be my first choice of economic development in our community to have one of these, and therefore I want to make sure that by some crazy chance, if one does come knocking, that they have to have their ducks in a row. Like we don't want them using up all our electricity, all our water, all of the things that we know could potentially hurt our community that are involved with these facilities. We have to make sure are protected. And so, good job.
Thank you. I would just say anyone who has a question about this, I would encourage you to go talk to someone who lives in Clarksville and ask if they wish that the city would have taken the time to put in rules and regulations to govern what it is that's coming to their community.
All right, anything else? If not, we'll see everybody next Thursday. All right, we will adjourn.